So it's a rarity that I talk about Pokemon, but it's been highly controversial, and I actually even went and checked out what's been going on with Pokemon, because let's be real here, almost nobody religiously follows Pokemon, but we heard that Ash is in the final league of the latest region, and one of the things that people were hype about is he's in the actual finals. He was in the final battle. It's like, this shit is exciting. Holy shit, you know, Ash is actually gonna probably win, and people were saying it was foreshadowed that he was gonna win. And spoiler alert, one of the things that people are really upset about right now is that Ash yet again did not win. This time he was runner-up. He got really close, and I believe this is the closest he's ever been in any of the leagues. I know he won the Orange Islands, I remember that, but that's pretty much like in canon filler in an anime original, which is really weird, whatever. But he's never really won one of the big conventional leagues, and this was the one where people really were champion, and they were like, yeah, he's gonna do it. And people are pissed off right now. To be honest with you, for me, because Pokemon is so far beyond at this point for me, like, I'm beyond caring about Pokemon like that when it comes to the anime. I love the original one. I kind of enjoyed Johto and, you know, Hoenn. After that, I really just fell off and haven't been into the anime for a really long time. But it's like, I think at this point, people need to understand and accept that unless Pokemon completely died out, which it's not happening anytime soon. Pokemon Go is one of the biggest apps of all time. The Pokemon franchise is at its peak that it's been in probably a decade or more, maybe 15 years since Pokemon has been this hot. It's not happening. So you need to understand that they are not going to, if it hasn't happened yet, they are not going to allow Ash to win. Because one of the things that on a marketing standpoint is that Ash is identifiable to these kids, all the little kids especially that are getting into Pokemon right now. It's identifiable, oh, he's 10 years old, and that's one of the reasons why they probably refuse to age him. The dude should be like 20 or 25 right now, but that's neither here nor there. But one of the main things is that they want to make him very identifiable and relatable for the little kids. And if he becomes champion and wins and stuff like that, it's far removed from one of the struggles that people can relate to. It's like, yeah, he wants to try and be the best. If he becomes the best, then kids is like, oh, but I'm not the best. I can't really relate with this motherfucker no more. Fuck this motherfucker. So you get what I mean? I don't think it's ever gonna happen, and I think at this point, after this one, it's time to let it go. It's time to let go of the dream of Ash becoming a Pokemon master, because it's just not gonna happen. You want to see something like that? Go watch I think it was the XY&Z specials where it was Red and he went through and it was some violent shit. Go watch that, because I really don't think it's ever gonna happen. And maybe I'll eat my words in 4 or 5 years when he goes through another league and ends up, you know, going through the finals and shit like that, and maybe he'll win. Who knows? But I honestly believe unless Pokemon is on its deathbed and it's, you know, really ending, the franchise is completely dead, Ash ain't never gonna win. It just doesn't make sense marketing wise for them to make him this champion when little kids aren't gonna be able to identify with him, and it's just gonna be far removed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have loved to seen it, you know, way back in the day, even with the first Pokemon League when Charizard refused to fight and Ash lost and shit like that. I would have loved to see it, but it's not gonna happen, and I think that needs to sink in, and the realization needs to happen. It sucks, don't get me wrong. It would have been really cool for him to have won this one, and I think he lost against somebody that's a part of the baddies. Again, I haven't really been following. I don't know what team he's a part of or whatever, but you know, the bad guys and shit like that, I think he's a part of it. And one of the things that people are theorizing is that even though Ash lost in the actual official league, that maybe he's gonna fight him on some good guy, bad guy shit, and then beat him there, and it's gonna feel like a really kick in the balls to the fans and stuff like that. So yeah, again, I just feel like Pokemon anime, you can't really get to this point where you're like, oh my gosh, it's really gonna happen, because you will be let down. It's Pokemon at the end of the day. Ash is still 10 years old 20 years later after a debut, you know what I'm saying? But let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about this? If you wasn't caught up on this, knowing that he got this far, this is the farthest he's ever been, Ash, he went to the finals and he still lost in the final round. How do you feel? Do you feel as though he's never going to become a Pokemon master, he's never going to win a league, or do you have hopes that maybe the next time around he will? And if you did watch this and you were following this, are you upset about him losing, or do you feel as though you knew he was going to lose and he wasn't going to make it this time around either? And your thoughts on Pokemon in general? I always love the original. I always have a fond memory of what it is, but yeah, the anime, it isn't for me anymore, especially when you hear stuff like this and people are excited like maybe Ash is gonna take it, and it's the same stuff. He lost again. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.